Hey, Taff into the Out of This World story from our space. Sometimes it's hard to know who's right and who's wrong. Today on our space, let's dive into the complexities of human relationships on this roller coaster ride of emotions. Up first, we explore the aftermath of an ultimatum. Am I the a-hole for giving my wife an ultimatum? I, 35 male, have been married to my wife, 37 female, for 7 years, and we were together another 3 years before that. We had a daughter, 5 female. On the outside, our marriage appears to be perfect. She and I own a nice house with a good school district, have a great kid, and both work full-time. Her job requires her to do some travel, and wants her in the office 3 days a week. My job does not pay as well, but I work completely remote and spend a lot of time taking my daughter to soccer or doctor's appointments, as well as keeping up around the house. Before anyone asks, this is not a weight gain issue. I am active and fit, and my wife is the same. For the past 4 or so years, my wife has shown basically no interest in her marriage and acts more like my roommate than partner. We have basically no romance or intimacy. When I say intimacy, I know how some people would jump to sex, but to me intimacy means acting like a couple, holding hands, kisses, cuddling, and obviously sex. None of those are really things my wife wants to do, and it makes it painfully obvious that she isn't interested. Before, she and I were very much an amazing couple. My wife also shows no interest in my life. She's forgotten important events like our anniversary and my birthday. Our last anniversary, she said she needed to cancel the dinner plans I made for the two of us because she had to work late on a Friday and travel for work the following week. I brought this up to my therapist, who suggested couples therapy and is willing to give some recommendations. I brought this up to my wife, who immediately shut it down, saying, "There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need therapy." I have made multiple suggestions to her for how we could possibly improve our relationship. Family vacation. Our daughter won't appreciate it. I don't see what 5-year-olds wouldn't want to go to the beach for a couple of days, but maybe I'm wrong. A romantic getaway for her and I? No, I'm too busy at work. Or, can we just spend time together at home? Taking our daughter on a bike ride and going out to lunch on a weekend. I just want to relax. So I gave up trying to initiate anything with her and recently began looking for an out. I watched my parents in a failing marriage for a decade and don't want to put my child through that. I talked to a lawyer and got papers ready and can buy a condo in town to keep our daughter in the same school district with her friends, since I can't afford our house by myself. I recently confronted my wife when our daughter was at a play date. I told her that I am seriously considering leaving her since I feel as though I don't matter to her and our relationship is never a priority to her. I told her I have an exit plan, and if she doesn't make changes by the new year, I'm going to file for divorce and full custody. She and I got into a big fight where she basically told me I was manipulative and an a-hole for blindsiding her like that. I told her that none of this would be an issue if she cared about us or at least pretended to. I told her I don't want our daughter to see how unhealthy a relationship is. All of this happened yesterday. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for what I said to my wife and our argument after? Edit. I have brought up my concerns about our marriage to her multiple times. Things usually improve for a short while, but are quickly back to the status quo in a week or two. Let's see what the community judges. First up, I'm sorry to say this, but your wife doesn't care. The first thing she says to you once you mentioned about it ending it, she said, I was manipulative and an a-hole for blindsiding her like that. First off, you didn't blindside her, you mentioned it to her and she didn't want to listen. Secondly, you also asked about couples therapy and she dismissed you. Every time you try something, she doesn't want to know. She doesn't seem to care about you or your daughter. She doesn't care about your anniversary or your birthdays. She does not seem to care at all. You are the one that is being there for your daughter and spending quality time. Are you sure she's not having an affair? Personally, I wouldn't wait till the end of the year. I go ASAP. DOB replies, I really hope she's not having an affair. I really don't want to think about the person I want to spend my life with doing something like that. Like the comment said, you're not the a-hole here. She's a selfish fool to think that you're blindsiding her. In fact, it just goes to show how much out of touch with reality she is. It's shocking that you've waited this long to pull the plug. You deserve someone who wants to be a part of you and your daughter's lives. It's not fair to your daughter to have an absent mother. What's worse, having a mother who's around but totally on a different planet, or a mother who's actually physically not there? Update. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for all of your replies and messages. I received a ton and haven't been able to reply to them all. It has been a crazy couple of weeks, unfortunately. My marriage is over, and after talking to my wife, I realized it has been for a long time. The day after my post, I began the divorce process with my lawyer. Everyone who said I was an a-hole for saying I was going to get full custody, that is true. I was angry, frustrated, and said something I shouldn't have. We were going to split custody, with me having weekdays and my wife having weekends. That said, everyone who said she was cheating, congratulations, you were right. She has been for around 4 years now, which is about the time she started withdrawing from my marriage. She has been cheating with this coworker because she felt like she was not attractive after having a child and I was busy with work and childcare. More recently, she's begun to develop feelings for him and was considering leaving me for him, which she's now free to do. When I gave her this ultimatum, She was surprised that I was considering leaving her and thought I knew about her affair at the time. We sat our daughter down and explained that we are splitting up, but we both love her more than anything. My daughter was understandably upset and is having a tough time. I have been looking into therapy options for my daughter and told her that she can always tell me about how she is feeling. That is the hardest part of everything so far. My wife and I are going to be geographically close. I'm going to be moving into a condo in early January, and my wife is going to be moving in with her coworker about 15 minutes away. With the sale of our house, I will be able to pay off a large portion of my new home. According to the lawyer, we can have everything wrapped up by New Year's if it goes smoothly, but with the holidays, I'll be happy with early January. In the meantime, I'm going to start rebuilding my life. I did not get married with the intention of getting divorced, but here we are. I'm going to work on myself and my relationship with my daughter, starting with a vacation. I'm going to surprise her with a trip to Disney this winter. It will be expensive, but I really want to make her happy and create some happy memories. I'm going to miss her on weekends. Maybe one day I'll explain this all to her when she's in her appropriate age and we can talk about it more. In the meantime, I'm going to work on myself and try to be the best version of me that I can. I don't know what the future holds, but I guess I'll know eventually. Let's get a couple community reactions right quick. First one. A little advice. Have a lawyer draw up a document that says you are allowed to travel with your daughter as the sole parent for up to 2 weeks, etc., and allow it to include trips out of the country. It can be done with both lawyers okay it, and it being notarized. Saves lots of hassles in the future, especially if you get a new love in your life. Another comment says, showing grace in times of adversity is a real challenge. It's going to be okay. Better than I was in my divorce. Just keep this level head of yours processing things the way you have been, but surely, and you'll make it through this process better than most. It sounds like you have your kid most of the time, which is good. You're obviously the more mature parent. Feeling unattractive is such an immature reason to cheat. All in all, your ex-wife is the a-hole. I'm with the comments. Feeling not attractive is not a reason to cheat, and even the fact that she said you were too busy taking care of your daughter, who does she expect to be the parent? She certainly had no interest, and if she felt so unattractive, why would she turn to cheating? Turns out she's ugly on the inside. Honestly, if she wanted to leave, she should have had the guts to just leave. What do you make of this? Next up, a wife's insecurities threaten the future of her marriage. Am I the a-hole for refusing to sleep on the couch? I, 32 male, and my wife, 31 female, got into a heated argument after her friend accused me of hitting on her. The other day, on her way from work to home, I came across a friend of my wife, and she looked like she was carrying heavy stuff, so I asked her if she wanted to ride home. At first she declined, but as I was leaving, she changed her mind and got into the car. We had a nice chat whilst driving and all was well. I even told my wife about it when I got home. Yesterday, I was confronted by my wife because I allegedly hit on her friend. I obviously denied it and told her the person who had been, but apparently I was persistent with said friend when offering her the ride. I only asked twice, and the second time was asking if she was sure. My wife insisted that her friend isn't the type to just lie about something like this. Naturally, I asked why she trusted her friend more than me, and then she told me about how her sister's husband cheated with a friend. I was angry at how I was being compared to someone else based on a mere accusation, and we ended up arguing. Then we were just about to sleep, and she told me to sleep on the couch because she didn't feel comfortable with me. I argued that I wasn't going to be punished for something that I didn't do, and after quite a back and forth, I eventually let her have the room and slept in the other one instead. I woke up in the morning to yet another confrontation about why I didn't sleep on the couch. I was obviously baffled and asked why I should sleep on the couch when there's an entire other room. According to her, if one spouse tells the other they should sleep on the couch, then they should do as asked to show that they're sorry. I pointed out that it was ridiculous, especially when you add the fact that I didn't even do anything. Things are now tense all because I gave someone a lift? Am I the a-hole? The OPs voted not the a-hole. And you're not the a-hole, OP. It's funny how people mistake flirting with just being kind these days. Update post, 12 days later. A week ago, I made a post about how my wife got angry with me for not sleeping on the couch after her friend accused me of hitting on her. Well, not too long after the arguments, we eventually confronted said friend, only for another argument to break out. This time between my wife and her friend, and I got more than I bargained for. Basically, the friend denied ever saying I was hitting on her, and said my wife took it out of context or misheard her. My wife argued back, saying the opposite. That friend said I was making moves on her and flirting. According to friend, her words were along the lines of, "Your husband was very nice to me, and had it been any other person, I would think they were flirting." Honestly, there was a lot of back and forth and about what was actually said, but in the end, it was established that I had in fact not flirted with her friend. However, because of this argument, things were heated and things were said. What got me is when her friend revealed to me that my wife was very insecure and had been keeping tabs on me, checking my phone every now and then without my knowledge, and quote, searching my car and laundry for any feminine products since that didn't belong to her every so often. Apparently she'd been confiding all this to her friend and at some point even considered having one of her friends flirt with me to see what I would do. Needless to say, I'm speechless and very disappointed. It's only now that I realize there wasn't any trust ever in this marriage, and I'm only going to continue suffering because her sister's failed marriage. She tried apologizing and denying synonymously, to the point where I'm confused what she's apologizing for and what she's denying. I was tempted to give her the same treatment she gave me based on an accusation, but to be honest, I really don't have the energy. As of now, I've asked for some space to contemplate this entire marriage. Thanks for everyone for the support and advice. It really means a lot. It seems like a lot of you were right. I think I'll take it from here. Again, thank you so much. Sincerest regards. Let's get a quick reaction from the community. Wife clearly has major insecurity problems, and what she has done is really terrible. OP is wanting to have space, but as much as it is predictable, I don't see this marriage continuing on more, especially with what has happened. OP may forgive, but it's really difficult to forgive someone that would pull something like this. Yeah, it's unfortunate that she felt like she couldn't just confront you about how she was feeling. It's important to prioritize your well-being and consider what is best for you in the long run. Whether that's seeking counseling, having an open and honest conversation, or making more significant decisions about the future of your marriage. Ultimately, the path forward will depend on your own feelings, the level of commitment from both parties, and your willingness to work through these challenges. Take care, OP. I hope you find what you're looking for. What do you think of OP's wife's behavior? Do you have a similar story? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today in our space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.